Dino Crisis Journal, Day 6. The figure emerged slowly, a gaunt man in a filthy Third Energy uniform, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and suspicion. After a tense standoff, Anya lowered her weapon, her voice firm but calm as she introduced ourselves and explained our predicament. Relief washed over the man's face as he identified himself as Dr. Richard Erickson, a researcher who, along with a small team, had been stationed at this abandoned facility when the displacement incident occurred. Erickson's story painted a grim picture. His team had been running low on supplies even before the disaster. Now, isolated and hunted by the island's prehistoric inhabitants, they were barely surviving. His words confirmed our worst fears. The signal I intercepted wasn't a beacon of hope, but a desperate plea for help. Despite their own struggles, Erickson and his team welcomed us with a weary camaraderie. Their facility, though battered, offered some semblance of security, a metal shell against the ever-present threat of predators. Erickson, a paleontologist by training, confirmed the existence of the rumored T-Rex nesting ground deep within the island, a horrifying prospect that fueled our collective determination to find a way out. Erickson's team, while small, offered valuable skills. A young mechanic named Tom proved adept at repairing Lewis's salvage tech, their combined efforts managing to boost the signal strength of the communication devices. A biologist named Dr. Kapoor offered a wealth of knowledge about the island's prehistoric inhabitants, a knowledge that could prove crucial in our fight for survival. The most unsettling revelation came from Dr. Kapoor. The island wasn't simply transported through time. According to his observations, the displacement field seems to have created a tear in reality itself, a chaotic anomaly that could potentially explain the erratic weather patterns and the unsettling silence that shrouded the research facility. Tonight, huddled around a flickering generator-powered light, a fragile sense of unity hangs in the air. We are no longer a ragtag group of survivors, but a team, bound by a common purpose to escape this prehistoric prison. Erickson and his team offer knowledge and experience, while we bring the desperation and drive of those who have stared death in the face. Tomorrow, we plan to delve deeper into the facility, hoping to find a way to exploit this anomaly, this tear in reality, perhaps even a way to reverse it. It's a long shot, a desperate gamble, but it's the only hope we have. The island may be silent, but the tension crackles in the air, a storm brewing on the horizon. We are about to embark on a journey into the unknown, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Dino Crisis Journal, Day 7. The air inside the facility hangs heavy with a mix of stale air, desperation, and a flicker of newfound purpose. Erickson's team, invigorated by the possibility of escape, has thrown itself into the research with renewed fervor. Lewis and Tom, the unlikely tech duo, tinker with a modified version of the communication devices. Their faces etched with concentration as they attempt to amplify the signal enough to pierce the tear in reality Dr. Kapoor identified. I, along with Anya and Emily, volunteered to assist Dr. Kapoor in further exploring the facility. His theory hinges on the anomaly itself, and understanding its properties might hold the key to manipulating it. The deeper we ventured, the more unsettling the atmosphere became. Dust-covered equipment lay abandoned. Research notes scrawled with frantic handwriting spoke of failed experiments and escalating fear. The oppressive silence was broken only by the rhythmic hum of the reactivated generator, a fragile beacon of hope in this tomb of scientific failure. In a restricted access area, we stumbled upon a horrifying discovery. Large holding cells, their reinforced glass scratched and opaque, house various prehistoric creatures. Not the majestic giants we encountered in the jungle, but twisted monstrosities, their forms warped by the chaotic energy of the anomaly. Dr. Kapoor's face paled as he confirmed his suspicions. The displacement field wasn't just a tear in time, it was a tear in reality itself. And these mutated creatures were a horrifying testament to its power. The discovery sent a shiver down my spine. If the anomaly could warp the very fabric of existence, what effect might it have on us if we attempted to exploit it for escape? The question hung heavy in the air, unspoken but acknowledged by all. Back in the main lab, the tension was palpable. Lewis and Tom managed to establish a faint, distorted connection. A voice crackled through the speakers, a voice filled with static but undeniably human. Hope surged through the room. a fragile flame that threatened to be extinguished by the chilling possibilities that loomed. Erickson, his voice tight with a mixture of hope and trepidation, addressed the group. The connection was weak, the destination unknown, but it was a chance. A chance to escape this prehistoric nightmare, a chance to return to our own time. Tomorrow, we make the attempt. We send a message, a plea for help, and pray that on the other side of that anomaly, someone hears us. The weight of our collective future rests on this single, desperate act. Dino Crisis Journal, Day 8. Today might be our last. Or maybe, just maybe, it might be our first step back to normalcy. The air crackles with a nervous energy, a volatile mix of hope and fear. We spent the night finalizing the message. A desperate plea for help encoded with our coordinates and a brief explanation of our predicament. Lewis and Tom, fueled by a potent cocktail of coffee and adrenaline, managed to further amplify the signal, focusing it through the anomaly with laser-like precision. The makeshift lab hums with activity. Dr. Kapoor and Dr. Erickson stand shoulder to shoulder, their faces grim but determined, sharing a lifetime of scientific knowledge in a desperate attempt to understand the potential repercussions of our actions. Anya, a pillar of unwavering resolve, oversees the operation, her steely gaze a constant reminder of the stakes. Emily, ever the eager one, vibrates with nervous energy, her youthful fear tempered by a newfound determination. And me? Well, I find myself oddly calm, the enormity of the situation settling into a quiet acceptance. The moment arrives with a jolt. Lewis throws a switch, and the lab fills with a blinding white light. The hum of the equipment escalates into a deafening whine, the very air vibrating with the strain. For a heart-stopping moment, everything goes silent. Then, a crackle, a distorted voice filtering through the speakers, a voice filled with static, but undeniably human. They hear us. On the other side of that reality-warping anomaly, someone hears our plea. A wave of relief washes over the room, so profound it almost feels like a physical sensation. Erickson barks orders, relaying our message with a practiced calm. The voice on the other end responds, their words muffled but filled with urgency. Technical jargon flies back and forth, a desperate attempt to bridge the gap between worlds. The connection is fragile, flickering in and out, but it's enough to ignite a spark of hope in our hearts. The scientists scramble, translating the response, their faces etched with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Apparently, they have a theoretical plan to stabilize the anomaly and potentially pull us through. But the process is risky, untested, and could potentially have unforeseen consequences. Tonight, we huddle around the flickering generator light, a sense of cautious optimism hanging in the air. This isn't a guarantee of escape, but it's a chance we have to take. Tomorrow, we prepare for the unknown. Tomorrow, we gamble with reality itself, praying that on the other side of that tear in existence, there's a way back home. For ourselves, for Anya, for Lewis, for Emily, for Dr. Kapoor and his team, for everyone trapped in this prehistoric nightmare. We are survivors, and tomorrow, we fight for our future. Dino Crisis Journal, Day 9. The air is thick with anticipation, a pre-storm calm that vibrates in my very bones. Today is the day we attempt to exploit the anomaly, a gamble with reality itself. Sleep was a distant dream, replaced by a flurry of activity. Lewis and Tom, fueled by a potent mix of caffeine and determination, double-check their calculations. Their faces etched with the weight of responsibility. Dr. Kapoor and Dr. Erickson huddle over a makeshift holographic map, their combined knowledge the only thing standing between us and potential oblivion. Anya, our ever-steadfast leader, paces the room, her hand hovering near the ever-present pistol at her hip. Her calm demeanor masks a storm of anxiety, but she remains the anchor that keeps us grounded. Emily, shedding her youthful nervousness, stands resolute, her unwavering gaze betraying a steely determination. The moment arrives with a collective breath. Anya barks the final orders, each word laden with the weight of our desperate hope. We move with practiced efficiency, every step rehearsed, every action crucial. The lab fills with a blinding white light, the equipment screaming in protest as the anomaly groans open. This time, the silence stretches on, an agonizing eternity before. Chaos. The once familiar lab shutters, the walls warping and twisting as reality bends to the will of the anomaly. A deafening roar fills the air, a sound that seems to vibrate in our very bones. Through the swirling white vortex, glimpses of another world flash into existence, a cityscape bathed in neon lights, a stark contrast to the junglescape we've called home for what feels like a lifetime. Then, with a sickening lurch, the world comes into focus. We stand, disoriented and bruised, amidst the wreckage of the lab. The anomaly has closed, leaving behind a faint hum that vibrates in the air. But we're no longer in the facility, we're on a rooftop. The cityscape sprawling beneath us, a testament to our escape. A figure emerges from the shadows, a woman in a crisp military uniform, her face a mask of professionalism. Relief washes over me, so profound it takes my breath away. We're not alone. We're safe. As the woman introduces herself as Captain Carter, leader of the retrieval team, a wave of exhaustion crashes over me. The ordeal has taken its toll, leaving behind a raw vulnerability. But amidst the fatigue, a flicker of triumph burns. We survived the dinosaurs, the jungle, and the gamble with reality itself. We made it home. Tonight, we rest in a secure facility, clean clothes and nourishing food, a surreal luxury. The events of the past week play in a loop behind my eyelids, a terrifying and exhilarating journey etched into my memory. What lies ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear. We are survivors. We are forever bound by this shared experience, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Perhaps, someday, I can put away this journal, a relic of a harrowing past. For now, it serves as a reminder of the day we stared into the abyss and lived to tell the tale. Dino Crisis Journal. Day 10, the sterile white walls of the recovery facility feel like a dream after the primal chaos of the island. Crisp sheets and real food have become a luxury I never thought I'd appreciate again. The events of the past week still play on a loop behind my eyelids, the razor-sharp claws of raptors, the earth-shaking roar of the T-Rex, the blinding white light of the anomaly. Sleep finally came last night, a deep, dreamless slumber that left me feeling slightly less like a walking zombie. This morning, Captain Carter, a woman with a steely gaze and a firm handshake, debriefed us. Apparently, our message came through just in time. Their scientists were on the verge of a breakthrough regarding the anomaly, and our intel on the island proved invaluable. The escape itself remains a blur. One moment we were in the lab, the next we were sprawled on this rooftop. The city lights a surreal welcome back to civilization. The after effects, however, are undeniable. A tremor runs through my hand whenever I reach for a glass of water, a phantom sensation of claws digging in, and at night, the jungle's symphony of screeches and roars echoes in my dreams. The news isn't all good. Dr. Erickson and his team weren't so lucky. The anomaly apparently destabilized during the extraction process, and communication with the island has been lost. A pang of guilt clenches my heart. They offered us refuge, shared their knowledge, and now they're trapped in that prehistoric nightmare. Captain Carter mentioned a potential follow-up mission, a retrieval attempt for those left behind. A sliver of hope flickers within me. Maybe, just maybe, there's a way to get them back too. But for now, I focus on healing, both physically and mentally. Tonight, as I gaze out the window at the twinkling cityscape, a strange symbol on Captain Carter's uniform catches my eye. It's faint, almost hidden by the folds of her jacket, but it looks vaguely familiar. A memory flickers, a crude carving I saw on a cave wall deep within the island jungle. It couldn't be, could it? This journal, a chronicle of our harrowing survival, might not be quite finished after all. The island may be behind us, but the mystery it holds lingers, a whisper in the wind. And perhaps, just perhaps, there's more to this story than meets the eye.